Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Today we will be building an exhaust for the LS swapped Cressida. This is the only car currently on a project on this channel, but who cares? I'm going to say it as the LS Cressida. We will be crawling around underneath the car, under this little space here, tigging up, making an exhaust, and I hope you enjoy this one because it was pretty hard to build on the floor. So, to the cardboard. Alright, welcome to the cardboard. This is how I built the exhaust for the car. I'll give you a quick run through now, then I'll run the footage, and it's a little bit of a thing. Anyway, I'll show you the cutout as well. So, this is the exhaust cutout I'm talking about. I'll try and hold all the things. Hit your button. Opens. It actually sounds really good. I'm surprised at how good it sounds, to be honest. We've made a heat shield up for there as well. And then there's also another heat shield down there next to like the XYZ switch and stuff. So plenty of heat shields always makes it good. We've put the prop shaft in, as you can see, which I gave a little bit of a thing on the other one. And we've also got a flange back here. That gold stuff you see squeezing out is like exactly copper exhaust gasket squirty stuff. So anyway, I'll run you through the episode and you can check out this exhaust. Here's some of the pipe that we're going to be using to build the exhaust. This pipe here is 3-inch. This is actually a bull bar. It's got some mandrel bends. I've already cut some of it off. That's the standard muffler for the Commodore, which we got the motor out of. These are 2 dump pipes for TD5 Discovery 2s. I'm going to be using the flanges off them. They're 3-bolt. And then this other pipe here is off it's a Range Rover V8, like an LM 2005, I think it was. Got a few more bits of pipe, but this should get me out of trouble. So I got my mandrel bends, as I've also got like a new piece of 3-inch pipe, which I'll show you in a sec. So with all this, we're gonna make the situation. So we're underneath the car. Slide around on the piece of cardboard. Got a flange down there, flange up there. So my idea at first was to come along, put like a cat here, put the cutout about here, bring it out the side here, and then have it come to the system, but can't really do that because the 3-inch pipe is a bit too thick from this side. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back from here down to here, roughly. We've got the shaft in it, by the way, and then it's going to have sort of the cutout here, then the cap, then the rest of the system, so then the cutout will go outside there. So when we race it, we'll just open the little valve thing. What we've got to do, because this seems to be the case, is we'll have to come down from this side, come along here, across the back here, maybe take up one of these and make like a cool heat shield thing, come across, join up about here, go out the cutout or out through the system. It's all going to be 3-inch out the side, and then it's going to come down the back, and then I'm going to replace this muffler with probably that Commodore one. Have a big sucker here, and then and the standard muffler at the back. So it's going to have a standard muffler at the back, so it looks factory, because in Australia, you know, loud exhaust, same as the pod filters, bad time. I'm sure someone's going to leave me a comment going, no, you can't do that. But it's what I'm doing, so suck it. Alright, so I'm going to be making this exhaust on the ground. I haven't got a hoist yet. I'm getting a shed built, but that's another story. Anyway, so I've bolted the flange on, right? It's very important that you have that sort of bolted on when you build the system, because if that's like loose and you tack it all up, then you go to bolt it, pulls it up, pulls it against something. I wonder how I've found that out. I've had problems before, so I'm gonna try and hold this exhaust. You just gotta like hold your bits of pipe up, and then we'll tack this in place. I'm thinking about making like a little stand for it, so I can prop everything up and tack it all up as I go. There's going to be the flange there. Whoa. There's going to be a flex joint from this side, so it'll come down, increase in size to the 3-inch, have a flex joint, come across the back here, and then I'm going to put another flange about here-ish somewhere, so then it's no worries to take it out, because there's nothing worse than having no flanges. And I don't like V-bands. They frustrate me because I just hate them. Like holding them together, getting that stupid clamp around. Mate, don't invent the wheel. Don't just use a flange with a gasket. Those TD5 flanges that I got over there, they have a multi-layered steel gasket, like a stainless one. So I've chosen to use them. They're 2.5 inch, so they'll have all 3-inch out the side, and then a cat and 2.5 inch, then back to like 1-inch pea shooter out the back for when we take it around on the street to prevent the police having to go at the old car. To assist me, because I'm working on the ground and I can't use a big prop or a jack stand, I just made this thing out of scrap metal. All it is a pipe inside of a pipe, square tubing, sorry, inside of a tube. Slides up and down. Got a nut welded on there, a little T-bar, made some bolts, just to lock it off where you want. Rounds are all good for pipe, you can see. Holds it up under the car while you can do whatever you got to do. Because you got to do it on the ground, so you got to do what you got to do. So just whack that up, obviously just tacked up, but that should do the job. As you can see here, there's a pretty big gap. I couldn't really see it when I was tacking it up, and what you're about to see, just a tragedy. We've got the pipe comes down, goes through the cat, comes down next to the prop shaft. It's got another flange here, because flanges just make everything way easier. My camera battery died, so you didn't get me welding all this up, but it's the same as just using that little prop stand thing. Then you got this pipe here, which comes from over there, obviously, sweeps around down to here. Got another flange, and this is like the crossover pipe sort of thing. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's about as level as the cross member. It's sort of a bit hangy, so we're gonna make. Let's pop the camera down. We're gonna make a hanger here. It's gonna go about there. There's 2 threaded holes here, which I'm gonna make a little plate for. It'll sit like that. This will weld on here somehow, maybe like that. And then that'll be a hanger there. I'll probably put one on the other side. And we need to put some of this heat shielding on that side, but that's what we'll do in a sec. We'll make up a little thingy. If you come down here, look up there, that's one of the flanges from the downpipe. It's got to come down and join to this. I'm going to put a flex in it as well. So this side's going to have a flex to prevent cracking, I suppose. But and it should be alright. This guy here is just tacked up. I just put it on to double check it fits so it's not touching anything, which is good. That's where we're up to, and then it comes over here obviously. So here's a pretty cool tip. I'm going to make some transfer punches. All they are is like the bolt size you need. Pop them up in your drill. Spin them up so you can make a point on them. Like that, if it focuses. Then you can just feed them in, knock your bit of metal against it, leave a point. Here's the exhaust off the car. I fully welded it up. It's got its little crossover part. I put a hanger there. The cat, it's got the cutout. This dude comes in here. I've made it sort of straight so it comes in and should go out the cutout. From here back, uses the standard exhaust of the car to keep it looking sleeper. Because in Australia, you know, cavity search and all. So I'll give this a paint up, and then I have to adapt this flange onto the car. So what I've done is I've put a flange on there and I've welded on the pipe. I sort of like adjusted the way it sits. I'm having trouble welding this under the car, obviously, because it's under the car. It might look kind of big, but like look how high the tire is off the ground. It's cramped as down here. And I can't actually get this exhaust out unless I take the diff out. And call me lazy, but I can't be bothered taking the diff out. So I'm just going to persevere and struggle to weld it under here. So inside the car we have this box thing, which I think is called like Speedo Drive or Speedex or something around those lines. It's made by Dakota Digital, I'm pretty sure. Yes, it is. And this thing allows you to run your standard dash with speed signal input and have a speedo. instead of just using your phone up on the dash, because I like the way this dash looks. So they give you 4 wires, power, earth, speed signal, and one is to calibrate the car. So you like drive a kilometer or whatever, and then you can work out what's going on from there. That's just a square drive, which is pretty basic. I think it's like a GM style thing. This is the type of cable it has. If I can pull it out of there, it's just like a square drive on a bit of cable pretty much. On that, I don't want to pull it apart, it had a thing sort of about as thick as this brass piece on the end, and it had a little like a keyway. So what I did, I just got the grinder on it and ground it flat, and then when I got it pretty close, I just used the file and folded the square onto the end. You can buy this cable, I'm pretty sure, and crimp it, but I didn't do that because I just bodged it up. Anyway, so that's what that is. Down there is just a bunch of messy wiring, and we'll get to that in a second. We also have put the handle on the shifter, so that's another exciting thing. And put on the little red, take it out of bad gears. So there you go. I've adjusted this. It'll only start in park and neutral. Safety first, people. Has no handbrake yet. Safety first. So that's all we're doing now. On the next episode, we'll wire up the nitrous and we'll go through that. Alright guys, thanks for watching this episode. Done and dusted, built the exhaust for it, so that's another big chunk of the project down. On the next episode, we'll be installing the nitrous, and by installing that, I mean mounting the bottle, running the lines, wiring it up and all that stuff. I've already put the switches in the dash on the glove box. I'll show you that later. I don't think I've shown you that in any of the other episodes. And then we'll be able to take it out on the street because it has water in it, it has oil in it, and it has everything it needs. So I hope you like this one. Leave us a comment, drop a like, whatever you want to do, and I'll see you on the next one.